Imagine a world without fresh fruits, vegetables, and the vibrant wildflowers around our landscapes. How do these tiny creatures called bees make such a big impact? Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alison Salinas.
My name is Davi Paz.
My name is Antonella Tomasi.
My name is Barbara Santos. And our research question is, how does the decrease of Northern Hemisphere bees negatively impact the production of commercial agriculture as well as the ecological stability? The benefits of bees bring along them food security, the preservation of ecosystems and biodiversity, and a stable economy.
First, let's talk about food security. When discussing about how impactful bees can be on food production and security, bees take on a vital role in protecting and making sure that ecosystem and biodiversity are stable. Bees are crucial for the cultivation of plants and fruits. As you can see here, an estimated third of the world's food is pollination dependent. And a colony of bees can pollinate up to 4,000 square meters of fruit trees. These showing how fruits crops can be affected by bee pollination. There are some certain limitations when we're discussing about bee pollination, like rural problems. Some of these are smallholder farmers in low-income countries that lack access to managed bee populations, and some certain geographic limitations that make the process of bee pollination more difficult for bees. Bees are essential for the production of wild plants that maintain biodiversity. Bee pollination makes sure and ensures fertile soils, water regulation, and pest control.
Preservation of ecosystems and biodiversity. Human activity disrupts the natural cycle of pollination. Pesticides and parasites are harmful to bees. Therefore, regulations should be implemented to balance or solve this issue. Pesticides. As written in a report by the USGS, due to loss in abundance of habitat, exposure to pesticides and parasites, bee population is on the decline. Habitat loss decreases the population of pollinators, while exposure to pesticides and parasites confuses them and makes them work not as effectively. Here you can see the three chemicals that are made up from most of the pesticides, and they're used more than any other class of insecticide as stated down here. In this graph, you can see the acceptable winter loss being the gray graph, while the yellow and orange graph are the actual numbers of the total winter loss. You can tell that these numbers are way off each other, calling the attention of many, like scientists, activists, and government officials. Lara Drival, in her article, explains how to achieve a balanced environment and biodiversity, you need to regulate certain destructive activities that humans do. GSA Pollinator Act is an example of the commitment of federal government to protect bees. Since pollinators contribute more than $20 billion into our national economy, this takes us to our next area of focus.
Economic stability. Bees pollinations is really important because they contribute with billions of dollars each year for our economy. But their population has been declining, and that can cause a risk in disrupting our economic stability. Contribution to the economy. Bees have contributed to our economy more than we give them credit for. As we can see in this graph, this is about how much the bees have contributed to economy to each one of these fruits. Watermelon being around $140 million, blueberry $50 million, sweet cherries $145 million, our cherry $35 million, and pumpkins around $100 million. We humans not preserving and not helping those bees survive, their population are going to decline, and that's really concerning because the bees are a vital part of our ecosystem. As we can see in this graph from the National Library of Medicine, 35% out of 100% of every fruit crops depend on pollinators, and 75% out of 100% of every flowering plants are also depending on pollinators. That's more than half. And that's 1 out of every 3 bites of food that you eat. More than 3,500 species of native bees help increase crop yields. Now, to help stop the decline populations, we need to look at solutions to help protect them and keep our environments healthy. First, we have protecting natural habitats. Protecting natural environments can help ensure bees have a safe and healthy habitat to thrive in, free from harmful chemicals and destruction. By preserving wildflower meadows, forests, and other natural spaces, we provide bees with the resources and needs to feed and rest. Then we have more sustainable practices. More sustainable practices work as a solution because it helps in building healthier ecosystems by reducing the use of pesticides, preserving natural habitats, and supporting biodiversity, which are all crucial for maintaining and protecting bee populations. Then we have educating people. Educating more people and bringing awareness to this problem in the declining of bee pollinations can help inspire actions like supporting pollinator-friendly practices and policies, which are crucial for the bee populations and for the vital role they play in our ecosystem.
Although there are some limitations to these solutions, educating people can lead to misconceptions and lack of public awareness. Sustainability needs balance between agricultural needs and bee protection. Protection of natural environments is very expensive due to constant agricultural expansion, climate change, and other disruptive activities that humans make to the environment. All of these cost money, although protection of natural environments is the most expensive one due to its huge workload and need from workers.
So in conclusion, bees are vital for our agriculture, economy, and ecosystem. But their population has been declining a lot, and that it's due to pesticide use, habitat loss, and humans' activity. So we should.
Most global crops rely to some extent in bee pollination for yielding things such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Also, bees are crucial as they play their role for protecting a safe future and the diversity of plants and fruit crops. Thank you.
Just slide together if you would, guys. All right, Antonella, we're going to start with you and work our way across. Antonella, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem that you guys identified?
The research that my friend Davi did, he was the one that made me have a better understanding on the problem that my group identified due to its broad category of evidence, since environment is it's the topic that covers the most on bee pollination. It shows how important bees are and our environment, since environment relates to economic spaces, political spaces, and other types of businesses that work around the environment and crop production.
All right, thanks. Davi. What's a way in which your team's resolution, or I guess you had solution, sorry. Your team's solution makes you think differently about the research you conducted?
A way that our team's resolution makes me think differently about my own individual research was that bees not only are responsible for the environment, but they also affect many aspects of the world, as in economic and different policies.
All right, Barbara. What's an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers' reports you decided not to use, and why didn't you use it?
An example of one of our peers that we decided not to use was Allison's. We decided to exclude her argument about global market. Even though it was really interesting, it could have added a lot. We decided that it was not something that you would like feed in our presentation, but it was really interesting.
Okay. And Alison, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your understanding of the problem that you guys identified?
The one that had the greatest impact on our understanding was David's paper and findings, because it was the one that did the biggest impact and the one that had the most information about what we wanted to talk about. It gave us a better understanding of how bees work in our environment, and we wanted to show that to the people. We wanted to
put that point out, and that newspaper had that information that we needed